All right, the next module in the National CAD Standard talks about how sheets are organized, basically the sheet titles and sheet numbers. So, I clicked the wrong one there. Let's go look at Lecture 2C, which is about sheet numbering. The sheets always go in the same order, and they always go from general to specific, and they also go in the order in which a building is built, as you will see. This lists the general categories that go in order, and let's look at them a different way. So first, a sheet number always contains what discipline we're talking about. So for example, in this class, our sheet numbers will always start with an A because we're doing architectural drawings. Then the first number will talk about, is this a floor plan or a section or something else? And then the last two numbers will just be the next available number. To be simplified about it, here are some of the more common categories. The site layout might be C for civil or L for landscape. That varies by firm. Structural you find in commercial buildings, not so much in residential buildings. We're going to do architectural sheets, so A for architectural. Then after you say A for architectural, next come the designators, this number here that shows what kind of a sheet this is. And here is a list from the National CAD Standard that gives the general categories. So if you're doing a plan, a floor plan or a foundation plan or a roof plan, your first number will be a 1. Here's a little bit more detailed description about these designators. Notice that you might have several different plans, sheets that are plan views but in different categories. So you might have an architectural plan that's A101, then Systems West might have a floor plan for their mechanical systems, and that would be M101, and so forth. Then the last two numbers are just the next available number, and a lot of people just number them in order. Some people do a little bit more to make those numbers identify something. And in a simple project, which a house often is, you can just use a single number and not get so fancy. If you do have a more complex structure, maybe you have a big fancy house, you might want to identify the floor plans by floor level. So 101 might be the first floor, 102 might be the second floor, 103 might be the third floor, and so forth. You see, it can get quite detailed. Here's an example of what a sheet set might look like in a set of architectural plans. The G sheet, G stands for general, and that's where you list a map of where the site is, a legend showing what symbols you're using, some contact information for extra subs, and so forth. In a small set of house plans, you don't need all those sheet numbers, and so it's common just to say A for architecture, and then 01 for the first sheet, 02 for the second sheet, and so forth.